Hello there. We've been working on this in class, finding the largest rectangular area when we're given a perimeter. So I wanted to do a quick review over the four-step process we're talking about. As you watch this video, feel free to pause it, rewind it, and make sure you really get these steps down so that we have it. Looking at the first step, here's our example problem first. Mr. Chef has 18 feet of fence. So we know that that 18 feet of fence is our given. That's the amount of fence we get to use. We can't use less because we don't want to waste it. We can't use more because we don't have it. We have to use 18 feet of fence to make our rectangle around the outside. And there's a lot of ways we could do that. But Mr. Chef also wants his Thanksgiving turkey to live in comfort. So he wants to make that largest rectangular area. And don't get those two things confused. Remember, perimeter is around the outside. That's our 18 feet. But the largest rectangular area, that's how much space is going to be inside for that turkey to walk around. And that's what we want to figure out. So step number one. Take the total number of fence and cut it in half. Again, our total number of fence is 18 feet. So we want to find out what's half of 18 feet. Of course, the answer to that is 9. 9 plus 9 would be 18, or 9 times 2. So 9 feet. But what would happen if we made one side of a rectangle 9 feet and the other side of the rectangle 9 feet? We'd have used all 18 feet and we wouldn't have a rectangle at all, would we? We'd end up having this. Top side would be 9 feet. Bottom side of the rectangle would be 9 feet. All of our fence is gone, and poor Mr. Chef's turkey is fleeing the coop. We've lost him. There's no sides here to trap him. We didn't make a rectangle. So that's step one, but we're not done yet because we don't have our rectangle. We've just started the process. Let's find out what happens next. We're going to take that number that is half and subtract 1. From our example, we're again taking 18, cutting it in half, and got 9. And if we subtract 9 minus 1, for our example, we get 8. So let's see what happens when we do that. If we do 8 on top and 8 on the bottom, we've used 16 feet of fence. But remember, we have 18 to use and we don't want to waste it. That gives us 2 more feet. We can put 1 foot on the left and 1 foot on the right. By doing so, we've used our 18 feet of fence. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 1 is 19 and 20 feet. And we actually have a rectangle that's going to trap Mr. Chef's turkey. But we're still not done. Remember, we want to find the largest rectangular area by using 18 feet. So we've only finished the first part of the problem. We've used the 18 feet, but we don't know, is this the largest area or not? Step 3. We're going to go ahead and set up a chart to list all the possible areas to find the biggest. We found 1, starting with the halfway minus 1 rule that we just used, and then we'll work our way down. So we knew we can do the long side of the rectangle would be 8 and the short side would be 1. 8 on top, 8 on bottom, 1 on each side. We know that works. We know 9 won't work, so there's no reason to go up. We're going to work our way down. So if I take 1 foot away and I get 7, if I take 1 foot away from the 8, that'll leave me 1 more foot to add to the other side, so I can do 7 by 2. If I take 1 foot away from the 7, I'll be left with 6 on top and bottom, and that means I could have 1 on each side added, so I would have 3 on the left and right side of the rectangle. I can do that again. 6 minus 1 is 5 on top and bottom, 4 on the sides. Should we keep going? If I take 1 away from that 5, I'm going to get 4. And if I add 1 to that 4, I'm going to get 5. So I'll go from a 5 by 4 to a 4 by 5. Well, yeah, the shape looks a little bit different, but the inside is going to be the same. The numbers just start repeating. So there's no sense in keeping the chart going. We can stop here. But we're not done with the problem just yet. Remember, we said this is a 4-step process. We've done 3. So what's the biggest area for Mr. Chef's turkey? Well, what if we replace the word by with the multiplication symbol, or the time symbol, you might have heard it called. Then we could do 8 times 1 would be 8 square feet. 7 times 2 would be 14 square feet. If we do 6 times 3, we would have 18 square feet. And if we do 5 times 4, we could do 20 square feet. But you may be saying, wait, I still don't know my multiplication facts. Well, you can still solve this problem. You can just use repeat addition, and that's what I'm showing down here in the notes. If I don't know 6 times 3 is 18 square feet, I should know 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, and that still gives me my answer. Or 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 4 5s, is 20 square feet. When I look at this chart now, there we go. When I look at this chart now, I have the answer to Mr. Chef's turkey problem. I could make 4 different rectangles, an 8 by 1, 7 by 2, 6 by 3, or 5 by 4. But Mr. Chef wants his turkey to live in style and have the most room. When we look at the chart, we can easily now tell which one's going to have the biggest square foot area. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and hopefully you now have this step process figured out.